I'm the mayor, or so I'm reminded every time there's a game shortage, ogre attack, or a neighborly dispute. I'm a builder by trade, though. Traveled all over Air Glonfoth and the Deerwood in my younger days, but ended up back here anyway. They didn't volunteer much, and I knew better than to ask. I've seen all types charging through here. Professional companies with shiny new equipment as brazen as you please, and hopeless runts with nothing but tattered leathers. But these folk, I don't know what they were after, and the way they looked at you made you feel cold all over. Wish I could tell you more.
Something else you need? I'm a carpenter, Mother's a builder, so it felt like a good fit at the time. Not that we've got a lot of new folk to build houses and furnishings for. These days, I spend most of my time fixing up the stockade. It's a fool's hope, a fantasy that's kept these parts inhabited longer than they should be. They say the Pargrunan dwarves developed Durgan steel, became powerful, rich. And then one day, they locked their doors and died. Nothing like a mystery to stir folk up. Most of Stalwart is convinced that some Pargrin secret will save us all. But that don't stop them from whispering a prayer when they pass the old fortress. About the only thing folk here haven't tried. Killing one more matron won't change things for long. Besides, her clan's flames that whisper. The one that attacked us was Wolf with many mouths. I'd know him anywhere.
They're cut from the same cloth, Aldrich. Only a matter of time before Baragon marches through that gap in our walls.
Mother's convinced that a magic forge will turn this frozen crack into a hub of civilization. She can't accept this place is dying. Me, I'd just as soon move on.
I'll have it in no time.
Been looking everywhere for you.
Hard living in a place like this. It's a wonder anybody stayed at all.
Don't see the harm. Building's thirsty work. Say, you're the one we have to thank for fighting off the ogres, right? Never thought I'd see one of the God-touched. I would have helped fight them monsters off, you know, if I didn't think I'd just get in the way. And with you there to handle things, everything turned out well enough, didn't it? Don't see why Havrick's still sour at me. Oh, Havrick's the innkeeper over at the Grave's Rest. I may have been hiding in the inn when the fighting started. The raid didn't improve his disposition any. Did you know he has a whole case of Fenlin liquor in there? I keep offering to buy it off him, but he says he's saving it up for when the battery's open again. As if we're gonna last that long. Anyhow, he said he'd thrash me up and down the mountain if I didn't leave him be. That's what Havrick said, actually. Look, I'm not proud of it, but I'm no warrior. What am I gonna do? Throw a net on them? It's delusional is what it is. Point of fact, what with you dealing with ogres and everything, maybe you'd, you know, be willing to help me out. Havrick keeps all the good stock in the inn cellar. Out of sight, you see. I mean, it's bound to be under lock and key, but I'm sure he wouldn't miss a single bottle. Not with everything that's going on. Well, Havrick can be a little intimidating when it comes to his beverages. But otherwise, not much, I guess. Shh, all right, keep it down. I didn't mean anything by it. But if you happen to come across some, then maybe you could share? Please, tell me you found it. I've got a craving like you wouldn't believe.
I dread discovering what passes for cuisine in this place.
Ooh, still can't feel my fingers.
Owena! Go check on that Orlin. Make sure he don't steal nothing. Never seen such a bloodbath. Feels like we got half the town's survivors in here, just drinking to forget it. But you must be looking for some refreshment, too, after the way you handled them ogres. Or perhaps a room. Say the word, and I'll give that shifty little Orlin the boot. Showed up a few days ago, sticks his nose out of the back room just long enough to empty his chamber pot. Up to no good, I tell you. I'd like nothing more than to see him gone, but I don't want to ruckus over it. We get our share of lowlifes coming through here. Smugglers, fugitives, kith looking to avoid the sharp eye of the law. The way he's keeping to himself, well, honest kith sure don't have cause for it. I'd appreciate it. And I suppose I don't need to remind you that I don't want you to hurt him. I'm sure you can find a more discreet way of handling the problem.
Thought I'd found shelter when I stumbled across this little village. Guessing you did too, huh? As much blood as there was in the streets, I'm lucky the ale's still flowing. Thought all the whispers about Durgan's battery were just village superstition. And maybe they are. But I might have been on my guard if I'd listened. I was part of an expedition, hunting for relics from Durgan's battery. We picked up a good haul, too. So it figures that's when the winds pick up and the sky starts dumping snow. We lost sight of the road. Meanwhile, something else found us. Took Liam out before we even realized we were surrounded. And then we see him coming out of the snow. These little four-armed wilder. Lagufoth, they're called. Quick little bastards. Francesca and I held them off as long as we could, but when they filled her full of darts, I turned tail and ran. Found my way here and thanked my luck for escaping the Lagufoth. Then come to find out that this town's got an ogre problem. That's a kind sentiment. I'll mourn them when I get home. But I've got to retrieve our haul if I'm to have any hope of that. I need to get those artifacts. Not that I'm in any shape to go after them myself. But I can't afford to return to Defiance Bay without something to show for my expedition.
Shining bright from on high, she bade him come down.
But you've got your own expedition to the battery, don't you? While you're out there, maybe you could look for my goods. Whatever's left of them.
Her love could not be swayed, so she took
I'll give you a cut for anything you bring back, of course. I ain't asking for charity. I just can't afford to go home empty-handed. Like I said, we were treasure hunting near Durgan's battery when we were ambushed. What else do you want to know?
sleep in her bosom.
Who? No, that would have been somebody else. We didn't meet with Renengild, or anyone else in town for that matter. We were operating on our own. We took out several loans to pay for our trip out here. I'm gonna have trouble if I don't pay them back. What's left of it should be near Durgan's battery. If you stumble across the Lagufoth, you'll know you're close. Just that it's been locked up tight for 200 years on account of those dwarves having a row. Which means that any trinkets from inside fetch a nice price. Sorry, I'm more of a businesswoman than a historian. Find anything? Hate to think of those slimy bastards carrying my haul into a freezing hole somewhere.
Beheld her love, shining bright from on high. She bade him come down from his palace. This way, so she took a kiss into
Keeping an eye out.
They shall see nothing while I see much.
Excuse me, was there something you need?
Not to be rude, but I'm rather busy. Can't you get another room? Pete, what? Oh no. No. Is she there? Did you see her? Devala. That woman. The slaver, she... I was a slave in Raid Ceres. I ran away. Made it here. The mountains are usually the best place to lose slavers, but Devala's one of the best. I just want to get out of here. I've scraped together enough money to reach New Haomar. But the locals talk about a Raid Saren party camped west of town. It's got to be Devala. She's been after me since the foothills. I'll pay you if you can get rid of her. I don't care how. Thank you. But be careful. She wouldn't have come alone.
I shall be discreet. Keeping an eye out.
Tenpon says she
about
trips
that?
them.
You might find this interesting.
Stand together!
You should see this. Perhaps a little rest is in order.
These ones are in for a walloping!
Tenpon says she trips them.
Nice and quiet.
How about that?
Fresh fish, freshly caught! Fresh fish, freshly caught! Effigy's eyes! It looked at me! Ah!
You must forgive, Zawa. I was not expecting you. Resting my eyes, I thought, waiting for the Malkachoa to bring me insight. It would seem I dozed. A good thing my master was not alive to see it. Are you real? Of course. I meant no offense, but I find it is best to ask when Malkachoa is involved. A small white mushroom. I have heard it called snowcap in these lands. It can reveal the true nature of many things. A teacher, not an owner. Zawa is a free man. Well, as free as any of us. I was freeing myself from vanity. Consider, how can one be vain who is bathed in the smell of dead fish? I had the idea when I passed this way earlier. I am pleased with the results so far. Yes, quite pleased. From battle, yes. I left them upon my enemies. These were struck against fear. These against pleasure. These against hatred. Those down there against greed and doubt. And these were for vanity. I cannot take credit for all of them, but I did most of the good ones. I put them there in battle to remind myself what is real and what is not. Our worst enemies are inventions of the mind, pleasure, fear. When we see them for what they are, we become unstoppable. I feel I have been close, but never for more than an instant. In the moment when the pain is sharpest, the world becomes clear. In that moment, I am a match for anyone. Of course, I am fortunate to have suffered so much. If I did not suffer, I would not aspire to free myself from it. I would wander from one unfulfilling goal to the next. More wealth, a better station. My soul would wither. But to search for a place beyond suffering's reach is to nurture the soul, to harden it against the elements. Suffering is the greatest gift the gods have given us, their most beautiful, perfect creation. It is the hand that turns the wheel. Gods, no. What a way to travel the world. The usual way is to smear yourself with the ashes of the dead. But they do not burn their dead here, so I have to make do with what the land provides. The cold seems to conquer the smell. Even now, the scent hides itself. Disappointing. I was visiting a monastery not far from here. I found it empty, but I met a messenger as I left. He carried a call for aid. Seeing that he would find no monks at the monastery, I chose to go in their place. Zawa is no longer young, but in combat he is still the greatest of the Takan people. It seemed only right that he should go. I would not say I am hired. I seek no wage, and I promise no result. I have chosen a path, and my spoils come from walking it. And this fortress, this Durgan's battery, its people are gone. Zawa would know why. If one wishes to swim, it is no time to argue with the current. We are here together in this moment because a perfect force has willed it. Who is Zawa to argue? I will walk with you so long as the gods wish it so.
Gores.
Age has slowed me. My thoughts wander often to the lost builders of this fortress we seek. They were erased from the world. I wonder, was it meant to be so? Few deserve their fate. And even cruel fates have their purposes. Still, it is hard not to wonder why. These feuds between Ogre and Kith, I do not see them ending until one is wiped out, or both. Most Takan have two choices. They can grow crops, or they can become Nalpazka warriors. I was the youngest of 5, a dreamer. The Nalpazka were always in my thoughts. They did not feel the same about me. 3 times I tried to join their ranks. 3 times I was refused. All that time spent dreaming, and I had not thought to prepare. I was lazy, uncoordinated, overweight. If they had not refused me, what shame I might have brought to them. They had no choice. Our high priestess had a vision. She saw me as chieftain, leading a host of Nalpazka warriors to victory over our enemies, the Kechmatl. Our last chieftain had died over the winter. A new one had not yet arisen from the Nalpazka. So the timing was right. The next day they brought me before Ishipilo, the great master of the Nalpazka, and I became his pupil. I still trained with the other instructors, sparred and meditated with my Nalpazka brothers and sisters. I learned from all of them, but learning from Ishipilo was a chieftain's privilege. He knew the secrets that could grant mastery over reality, invincibility in combat, when an Nalpazka was deemed a worthy successor to a chieftain, greater than all his peers. Ishipilo would take him in, prepare him for the future. I would not be as I am now without his lessons. You would ask much of one who knows little. Not all of them. A story for another time, perhaps. One thing he did teach me was that the more you talk, the less you hear. And the less you hear, the less you have that is worth saying. Ishimidal is vast. Outsiders think of it as one land and its people as one people. But if you walk across it, you see that there are many Ishimidals. The Ishimidal that Takan know is rich in soil and water. The crops seem to grow in front of you. We build our homes along the Aki River, and it is good to us. Though every so often it floods, so that the Takan do not forget their suffering. It would not be the rainy season without my neighbor Esley swimming after his escaped goats and nearly drowning. But home is an idea, no more real than justice or honor. My home is here now, wherever I stand. I hope to share knowledge with the monks of the Thousand Dreams. Their monastery lies east of here. They are said to be seekers of greater truth, like the Nalpazka. But if they still exist, I did not find them there. The ways of the Nalpazka can make little sense to an outsider. We are the warriors of the Takan. Nobles, peasants, it does not matter. We are souls caged in flesh, nothing more. But it is one thing to say it, another to know it. So we train until we know it, or until we meet our ends. I give this answer because it is what you wanted, but the Nalpazga would say different. They would say that we are nothing at all. Perfection. Look around you. The world is perfect. Every being, every moment, every death. Rarely do we see this. We stumble through life, lost in distractions. Every practice of the Nalpazga is a reminder to stop stumbling, to know the perfection. You think the world imperfect? Most would agree. Most would say the world is imperfect because we suffer. They imagine a world without suffering and dream of living there, and suffer all the more for it. This is their mistake. The world is perfect. It was created by a boundless wisdom. It is for us to learn why a perfect world requires that we suffer. Our practices are suited to our enemies, the things we hold to in fear of their opposites. Things like pleasure and vanity, even our own lives. We embrace discomfort. I knew a Nalpazga, Tamin, who slept on sharp boulders and kept his arm raised above his head for 2 years. The arm withered. One day it fell limp and became useless. But always it reminded him that pleasure and pain did not hold sway over his soul, and he became strong. Vanity is my favorite. You have seen some of it. You must become loathsome, disgusting. The Takan are used to our shit, but Deerwood has been far more enjoyable. A traveling noble offered his friendship to me as we crossed paths on the road. I blew my nose into his silken shirt sleeves, apologized, then vomited on his wife's gown when she expressed forgiveness. I was even beaten for it without having to ask. Work well done is truly its own reward. Fear of death is our enemy, so we bury ourselves with our dead. We live on the carrion and meditate for days, even as the worms burrow into our flesh. When I completed my trial, my master had me placed at the bottom of a mass grave to make sure his point was clear. In time, you come to know death. You accept its beauty and its purpose. So it is with all our enemies. Vanity is a snare that roots us to the ground. The way we see ourselves, the way others see us, these things are not real. They cannot be touched. The Nalpazga teachings reveal many such snares. Fear, pleasure, doubt, hatred. They hold us back if we let ourselves be caught. Then you see only what is truly there, and you suffer no longer. You become as a god, seeing things as they do. If you can loose yourself from the snares, then you are free. I meet people on the road, and they pity me. I have come to find it endearing. They see so many scars, and they wonder, how can the man beneath not be broken? A scar is a wound that heals, a living reminder of our power over suffering. They cause no pain, only the echo of pain, which cannot hurt you. Show me a scarred man, and I will show you a man who can overcome. The Malkachoa? At any time, it is rare that I have not eaten some. When you first try it, it seems a beautiful fantasy. You see colors you have never seen, meet creatures that are not there. With practice, you see that all it does is show you reality, the essence of all things, how they are alike and connected. I have watched trees grow and wilt before me. I have tasted meat and known the animal's life as if it were mine. But the Malkachoa often causes the stomach to empty with great violence, so it is not for everyone. If I did not suffer, I would gladly cast light upon them.
Oh, it's working! Yes! I can't believe it! It's really... Oh... I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be so rude. I'm Ista. I heard we have you to thank for clearing out the ogres. I'm glad Stalwart survived. It would have been a disappointing trip up here otherwise. My ore locating divination tool. Well, that's what it will be. I have to calibrate it. Right now it seems to think you're a copper deposit. My Animancer contacts did suggest that a particular strong soul essence might interfere. I'm more interested in minerals in any case. It's actually quite sophisticated, if you'll forgive me a little professional pride. A mix of alchemical processes and scrying enchantments, and some very expensive crystals. I'm trying to recreate the instruments that first led the Pargrun dwarves to this mountain. This is my latest prototype. Centuries ago, dwarves carrying tools just like this one followed their readings to what is now the battery. If I can recreate their work, then I may be able to find ore deposits elsewhere. I was hoping to test it, but my arrival was delayed by word of the ogre attack. I haven't been able to find anyone to venture up the mountain since. Really? That'd be wonderful. I just have to adjust the device, you see. It should point you toward metal deposits. We already know the battery rests on some rich veins, but I was hoping to get a reading of the surrounding mountainside. If you can follow the readings to ore and bring back a sample, I can use it to refine the device. Thanks ever so much for this. I hope you've had some luck. working! Yes! I can't believe it! I'm sorry. My Animancer contacts did... I suppose that's possible. It's not exactly what I'm looking for, unfortunately. I'm trying to recreate the instrument centuries ago. I was hoping to test it, but my arrival was delayed by word of the ogre. Do you think I should include an account of that ogre raid in my report? I find the research exciting enough, but Kith do enjoy a good drama. My Animancer contacts did suggest that a particular strong soul essence might interfere. It's actually quite... I'm trying to recreate the... Centuries ago, I was hoping to test it, but my arrival was delayed by word of the ogre attack. Really? It should point you toward metal deposits. If you can follow the readings to ore and bring back a sample, I can use it to... Thanks ever so much.